Muhammad gave the honorific title of Al-Saduq, meaning the truthful, to Abu Bakr. What was the occasion and why?
Abu Bakr was one of the earliest converts to Islam. He became Muhammad's closest companion and confidant, as well as his father-in-law, when Muhammad, at age 50, married his child daughter Aisha at the tender age of 6 years and raped her at age 9 years. Abu Bakr's honorific title of Siddiq was given to him by Muhammad when Abu Bakr deliberately and falsely concurred with Muhammad's description of the non-existent Temple of Solomon at Jerusalem. According to the Quran, Allah allegedly took Muhammad on a journey from the Kaaba in Mecca to a place designated as the furthest mosque. Al-Isra or Bani Israel 17.1. Glory to Allah, who did take his servant for a journey by night from the sacred mosque to the furthest mosque, whose precincts we did bless, in order that we might show him some of our signs, for he is one who heareth and seeth all things. In Arabic, for those who accuse us of ignorance of the language, it goes like this: سبحان الذي أسرى بعبده ليلا من المسجد الحرم إلى المسجد الأقصى الذي باركنا حوله لنريه من آياتنا إنه السميع البصير. In the whole of the Quran, the name of Jerusalem is not mentioned. All the above verse alludes to is the furthest mosque, without the slightest hint as to what or where it is. I shall now quote for you from the Muhammadan sources, and will have no choice but to bring to your attention in between extremely important points. It was in Ibn Ishaq's monumental biography of Muhammad, written about 140 years after his death, called Sirat Rasulullah, pages 182 to 185, which was the first to assume that Muhammad's furthest mosque was the Temple of Solomon in Jerusalem. There followed uncorroborated and mass-produced Muhammadan traditions that expanded on the myth of Muhammad's travel to the temple at Jerusalem and even described some of its non-existent features. Ibn Ishaq, page 182. According to what I have heard, Abdullah bin Mas'ud used to say, Buraq, the animal whose very stride carried it as far as its eye could reach, on which the prophets before him used to ride, was brought to the apostle, and he mounted on it. His companion, Gabriel, went with him to see the wonders between heaven and earth until he came to Jerusalem's temple. There he found Abraham, the friend of Allah, Moses and Jesus assembled with a company of the prophets, and he prayed with them. Because the story will be corrupted by the later followers of Muhammad, please remember that in this original version of the mythical journey, Muhammad rode on Buraq and alighted only at Jerusalem. The narrative continues. Then the apostle returned to Mecca, and in the morning he told Quraysh what had happened. Most of them said, By Allah, this is plain absurdity. A caravan takes a month to go to Syria and a month to return. And can Muhammad do the return journey in a night? Many Muslims gave up their faith, apostatized. Some went to Abu Bakr and said, What do you think of your friend now, Abu Bakr? He alleges that he went to Jerusalem last night and prayed there and came back to Mecca. He replied that they were lying about the apostle. But they said he was in the mosque at that very moment telling the people about it. Abu Bakr then said, If he says so, then it is true. And what is so surprising in that? He tells me that communications from Allah, from heaven to earth, come to him in an hour of a day or a night, and I believe him. And that is more extraordinary than that at which you boggle. From the above, we find that initially Abu Bakr also refused to believe the story until he found out that Muhammad was adamant about it. Being a true believer in Muhammad, he had no choice but to support him. So far, there is no blame on him. He then went to the apostle and asked him if these reports were true. And when he said they were, he asked him to describe Jerusalem to him. Al-Hasan said that he was lifted up so that he could see the apostle as he told Abu Bakr what Jerusalem was like. Whenever he described a part of it, Abu Bakr said, That's true. I testify that you are the apostle of Allah. until he had completed the description, and then the apostle said, "And you, Abu Bakr, are the Siddiq, the truthful." This was the occasion on which he got his honorific title. Ibn Ishaq, page 184. The following report reached me from Hani, daughter of Abu Talib, whose name was Hind, concerning the apostle's night journey. She said, "The apostle went on no night journey except while he was in my house. He slept that night in my house. He prayed the final night prayer, then he slept and we slept. A little before dawn the apostle woke us, and we prayed the dawn prayer. He said, 'O Hani, I prayed with you the last evening prayer in this valley, as you know.'" So-called believers and unbelievers note that Hani said, "The apostle went on no night journey except while he was in my house." Whom should we believe? Muhammad's companions who were not in bed with him, or his wife? Muhammad continued, "Then I went to Jerusalem and prayed there. Then I have just prayed the morning prayer with you, as you see." He got up to go out, and I took hold of his robe, and laid bare his belly as though it were a folded Egyptian garment. I said, "O Prophet of Allah, don't talk to the people about it, for they will give you the lie and insult you." He said, "By Allah, I certainly will tell them." The following is taken from Ibn Sa'd al-Tabaqat al-Kabir, volume 1, pages 246 to 248. They wondered at it, Muhammad's story of the night journey, and said, "We have never heard a thing like this." The Apostle of Allah, may Allah bless him, said to Gabriel, "O Gabriel, my people will not confirm it." He said, "Abu Bakr will testify to it, and he is al-Siddiq." The narrator added, "Many people who had embraced Islam and offered prayers went astray, apostatized." The Prophet continued, "I stood at Al-Hijr, visualized Bayt al-Muqaddas, and described its signs. Some of them said, 'How many doors are there in that mosque?' I had not counted them, so I began to look at it and counted them one by one and gave them information concerning them." Abu Bakr was thus named as Siddiq, meaning the truthful, the upright, or the one who counts true, due to his immediate belief in the journey.